You know, I look forward to these times, just hanging out with you guys, mostly to drink beer. But it is nice seeing you once in a while.
And I thought I had no life. Jesus.
Aw.
Wait, don't turn the channel. You've tuned into High Gravity.
The show where we talk about beer, brewing, and bullshit.
Where the only thing we take seriously is the next round.
So grab a glass.
Fill it with something cold.
And enjoy the show.
I mean,
Once in a while, not all the time, guys.
I
like
actually
it,
wanted
too.
to start this one off with an apology to Mr. Jim, because I'm pretty sure I really pissed you off last episode.
You didn't, but it doesn't sound like either my headset or my mic is on.
Your mic's on.
That's interesting.
Yeah, touch it.
Touch what?
The mic just...
Oh.
Not there,
Think of the mic.
damn it. Wrong spot.
I can turn you up some more.
Yeah, it's just, okay, that
yeah,
sounds
that's
a little
better.
better. Yeah,
Okay.
that was...
I'll cut around that, and we can still use part of that for the
I wasn't used to, like, the sound of my voice returning. It wasn't, like high enough.
It's trippy.
But yeah,
So yeah, I didn't mean to get that drunk last night.
you did, though.
I definitely did.
Well, how many times have we told you not to finish every single beer? Like, especially the shitty ones. You
It
just...
wasn't the beer.
Well, I'm aware.
It was the new tradition.
Yeah.
That's what got him.
You know, for some reason,
fun,
I thought my brain thought you said, like, trying to say, like, nutrient condition or something. Like, it's this nutrient condition. It was like, what the fuck is that? Like, he's nutrient deficient? Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Beer deprived.
Probably.
Johnny is far from beer deprived.
No, I'm well insulated with beer.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think it might be the opposite of deprived of
I
beer
keep
that
the pony
led to
keg
this
nice and
situation.
safe. It's insulated. If it falls, it's got a cushion.
All right, well, let's get some beers in our glasses.
Yeah, we don't actually have any beer right now.
true.
Do you want to start with this one or the one with the gold?
The
leaf
other
on it?
one.
You want the gold?
The other one.
Okay, this
Yeah.
one. Daryl needs to have a little beer in him before we try one that has cherry in it.
Oh, yeah. You got another one with cherry. What the hell?
So this one, I was reading the can a little bit before we started. I've had this beer before on Nitro, and it was very exciting. This is the Double Dipped Neapolitan Milk Stout from Saugatuck Brewing Company.
We have to put like a chocolate shell in our glasses before we drink it.
A stout with natural flavors. Let's see here. It says chocolate, vanilla, and strawberry. Just when you thought our barrel-aged Imperial Neapolitan Milk Stout couldn't get any better, we made it better. This double-dipped version was first aged in oak bourbon barrels, followed by French brandy barrels. Aging it for a total of 24 months, adding a whole new dimension to this beer you know and love. As always, there's a little very subtext down here. As always, we recommend consuming beers fresh, cellar at your own risk. Now,
Seller, like selling it is to not keep
cellar,
it.
CE.
I know.
So
be a smart ass.
reading the bottom of the can, this actually has a date stamp on it.
Oh.
And this was something we were talking about before the podcast, something that bothers us. Beers that don't have dates stamped on them, like
Yeah.
bottling dates or like some kind of theme, like with Dark Lord, they do the different colored waxes.
Something to
Here
indicate
he goes,
its
the Dark
age.
Lord again.
Yeah. No Rules has the different color bowling ball. It very like put a date stamp on it. So this one's stamped 10/30/20. So it's
So this
like,
one did have a stamp.
yeah,
Nice.
like right on the bottom. Yep. So this one's like 3.5 years. 2 years barrel aging though. So let's
Interesting.
and it's in a can. So I'm a little skeptical, but we'll see here. Let's get it open.
Ooh, fancy.
It's still bubbly. It doesn't smell off yet.
I'll pass you this, sir. Thank you, sir.
You don't have much confidence in this yet.
Well, I found that cans seem like they don't really age as well as bottles.
Oh, wow.
And you'd think they would because there's no light getting in the can.
But it's that tin or metal taste that ends up picking up a lot of times too.
But they've had the like the can liners for years and years and years and years, and like the metal taste isn't supposed to leach into them.
I like that.
So you say, but we've had a few.
So
I think that's oxidation though that makes it taste like metal and
my
not metal.
very first homebrew that I did was an extract kit. I bought this thing at a yard sale for $2. It was old, so I replaced the yeast. But the extract was in a can. And when I made it, I didn't quite like it. In that beer judging class I was doing, I brought it to there. I'm like, hey, tell me what I did wrong.
Extract hasn't come from a can in years.
Yeah, I didn't know that at the time, but it was a cheap, DIY beer kit, so I tried it. And everybody tried it, and they're like, you did everything right. You hit everything on the note, or on the nose, everything you were supposed to do. It's there. And it was a clone of the beer that shall not be named, but stronger. Thank God. And everyone's like, no, you did it right, but that tinny taste is just because of how old it was in the can. It was an actual metal can. And every single one of them was like, yeah, it's right.
It was probably before they had the lining in canned products.
Probably, yeah.
I feel like a lot of the flavor of this has fallen out.
I don't know. I like it. I taste that milkshake style lactose sugar in it. Real creamy. I taste that right up front.
It's typically, when I've had it in the past on draft, it's been a lot sweeter. Like a lot sweeter. Which I actually kind of like that this is less sweet. But the more I drink of it, like now when I let it sit on the palate, like I can actually get the chocolate and vanilla. Not as much on the strawberry, maybe a little bit of strawberry.
I get a little strawberry.
It does. It's kind of more reminiscent of like if you ever had the astronaut ice cream, like the dehydrated Neapolitan ice cream.
Not in a long time.
It's kind of like that, where like it wants to taste like Neapolitan, but it's not quite.
That would be a perfect description. I don't know if I get strawberry. I want to say I do, but I'm not.
Think about it really hard when you taste it.
Yeah, it's like when they brewed the beer, they whispered strawberry by it, and the fermenter just took to that.
Oh, so it's like a White Claw.
Yeah. Or what they say about like LaCroix. It's like transported in a truck near bananas.
Yeah.
So do they don't have a banana flavor, do they? That'd be fucking weird.
I hope not.
Banana flavored sparkling water.
Sounds terrible.
They've had some weird ones. My good friend Tyler, he loves like LaCroix and sparkling water.
Same.
He always tries the new flavors, and I like carbonated water too. But I'm pretty
lemon or lime. I'm good with that.
Yep,
or like
citrus.
A black cherry or grapefruit.
Yep, I like just citrus.
And some of the grapefruit is not good.
No,
but I've
I
had
agree.
Some phenomenal ones.
I like the Kroger brand grapefruit is good.
Yeah. I like the Ahas when I
haven't tried that.
So they had one. It was a citrus lime. I think it was supposed to be
carbonated,
like a lemon
Darrell.
lime.
It's beer adjacent.
Welcome back to beer.
Yeah, he looked at us with a judging stare because we're talking about sparkling water.
Mine at least had caffeine.
High gravity of water.
High gravity water.
Don't drink heavy water. That'll kill you.
Yeah, no, that will kill you.
H2O2.
Yeah, I'll take an H2O too. That's hydrogen peroxide.
Yeah, the second man dies.
Yeah, disinfect you from the inside out.
Yeah. I was reading a thing, and I was going to use it as a show opener, and I totally forgot until about now. So I watch a lot of, like, parrot or talking bird videos on, like, Instagram, Facebook, and all that.
So does my wife.
Yeah.
It seems like a thing that people do.
And it's just funny, is every now and then I'll come across it, and it says, the first person that heard a parrot talk was probably not okay for several days.
Probably not.
Yeah.
Well, it was a movie, Real Big Fish, where he says you can walk through the jungle and you can hear the parrots talking about all sorts of things, fashion, movies, music, but you never hear the parrots talk about two things. It's politics and religion, because you never know who you're going to offend.
We've quoted that before.
Yeah. Parrots are very non-offensive, apparently.
Yeah.
Not the ones I see on the internet.
We can find some videos.
Yeah, I was saying, not the ones I see on the internet.
Yeah.
See, I want a raven. I want a pet raven.
That would be awesome.
Like, and my wife won't let me have one.
Steal from people.
Oh, yeah, you can teach them to talk to, and they live for 50, 60 years.
Yeah.
Plus, they're beautiful birds.
Oh, my God.
A lot of our chickens are that black color with that, like, you look at their feathers in the sun, they get that iridescent green and blue.
Oh, that's cool.
And I love that. And I've always wanted a raven, teach it to talk and teach it to, like, Edgar Allan Poe quotes. And
that would be cool.
You walk in the house,
creepy as shit.
The raven just, nevermore. Yes, he did it.
You come home drunk as shit one day and you're like, what the hell said that?
I've been trying to befriend the local crows for a long time. Like when I see them in my yard, I go out and throw like lunch meat or something out in the yard, so they'll start to get friendly.
They are pretty smart too.
Oh yeah,
they're very smart.
They've one of few animals observed in nature actually making tools to get food.
Yeah, they're extremely
creepy
social.
Watching those videos too, because like you see them, like you can see the wheels turning, and it's like I need this stick to get to this treat. Mm-hmm. And then they go rip it off a tree, poke it out, and eat the treat.
I say they possess the intelligence of a 7-year-old child. I've met some pretty dumb 7-year-olds, though. So I don't know.
Anywho.
I mean, I'm smarter than a 7-year-old. I can do math better. I can jump higher. It's just science.
I mean, maybe I'm not that good with math.
I'm gonna go to the Children's Olympics and I'm gonna slay. I'm gonna kill it.
It's gonna be sad when you lose.
Okay, Anakin.
Yeah, right. I killed the younglings. There was sand everywhere. Oh, wrong movie.
I was talking about Pythagorean theorem while we were building the backhoe last night. We were drinking, so there was alcohol. It
Good.
was lot stronger than
Pythagoras
beer.
usually doesn't come up when I'm drinking. I don't know.
It was funny because it's like that perfect real world example of this is your science class shit right here. Like figuring that angle based on that and that number.
Oh, do you remember when we were
like
told
the
we would
only
never
thing
have a calculator in your pocket all the time?
Yeah, now we have the entirety access to the internet.
We have the Library of Alexandria on crack in our pocket. R.I.P. Library of Alexandria.
I thought you were gonna say R.I.P. crack or something.
That you were a real one.
Anyways.
So
Not to put a timestamp on when we actually release, but happy St. Patrick's Day.
Absolutely. I'm out, but cheers to
yeah, there'll be.
everybody on the holiest of holidays of alcohol consumers.
Yep, Darrell's beard is green. You can't see it, but it's green.
I can see it.
There's a
I'm
terrible
right here.
story to this beard.
Is there?
I'm going to share it here.
Okay.
Did I tell you last night?
No, you didn't.
Story time.
All right. So bartender Kelly, who's been in here, mentioned I should dye my hair green. My beard. I'm like, okay, that's fine. So next morning I get up, which was yesterday morning. I go grab some green hair dye, which probably isn't the best thing to do.
Because it's permanent.
And it dyes everything. So I use this green hair dye
You know
on
they
my
have
beard.
temporary dyes, right? Like
Yeah, I
for like
wasn't that smart.
Halloween and stuff.
You dyed the little leprechaun too, didn't you?
So, no. No, but when I did it, I dyed half of my face green, half of my neck green, the kitchen counter, or the bathroom counter green, the shower was green, green was everywhere.
awesome.
So I rinse it all off, and I'm looking in the mirror, and I'm half Shrek, half me. So now I have a choice. I either got to figure out how to get the dye off of my face and my neck,
Well, you just go all in. And go
or I have to
all
dye
in.
everything and just deal with it later. So I
So your
went and I
fingers
got,
are green.
Yeah, fingers are still green. But I went and I got acetone. I was looking stuff up online, how to remove dye, nail polish remover,
Yeah,
everything.
rubbing acetone on your face and neck.
Well, here's the worst part, right? So none of it got any of the dye off my face. And I'm sitting there like, what the hell do I do now? So Dad brought me a bunch of chemicals. And one of those was brake cleaner.
Oh,
I'll tell you what, brake cleaner,
yeah.
took it off.
Oh, yeah.
I bet gasoline would have worked too. How
No,
many
it didn't.
different kinds
Gas
of
didn't
cans?
work.
You're putting gas that close to your face. That shit just doesn't wash off. You're gonna smell like gas for a month.
Was it chlorinated or non-chlorinated?
I don't know.
Oh.
But it came off. Burned
Well-
some of my
Oh, yeah,
skin
that'll
off
do
too, but it worked.
Yeah, probably.
So that's why I have no green on my face anymore, just my beard.
Just brake cleaner.
Just brake cleaner.
I'm sure
And
that
it
is
absorbs into the
perfectly
skin,
fine.
it goes away. That's probably why I have
fine.
so many hand issues, though.
Oh yeah.
My trigger finger. That shit hurts.
So if you start seeing like my eyes start twitching or something,
Oh, I have that too. I thought
know
it was
why.
just a caffeine overdose.
Well, I mean, how much brake cleaner did you drink?
I don't want to play that game.
I sniffed. I didn't drink anything. Come on now.
All right. Well, I mean, that's probably
I'm not that dumb.
that's probably better for
There's
you.
a place I used to work. One of the guys never used hand cleaner. And I always ask him, how the hell do you get your hands that clean? He goes, oh, this. Walks over to the parts washer, just dunks his hands in, scrubs it, rinses off, and dry it off. I'm like, dude, what the hell?
Some people have no common
I mean, I
sense.
get the logic. I totally understand the logic because his hands were always perfectly clean. But it's like, bro, your hands are going to fall off in 10 years.
But you did miss a good party last night.
I believe it. I believe it.
It was quite raucous. There was
I'm
a lot
a
going
little
on.
disappointed in myself I didn't come out, but I was working on
It
a
was
few
too
things.
cool for us.
Well, I had the museum, and none of y'all have come to the museum yet, by the way. You've been to the
What's a museum?
off-road show, at least. A building full of, in our case, old cars.
Man,
Well, trucks and Jeeps. And
I'm really into old cars and Jeeps. So that's probably
there's
why
some
I
cutaway
haven't been
engines, and there's...
Oh.
Are you a fan of Michigan State University, or are you a Vem person?
there. I hope they both lose.
He's football. As long as you're not Ohio State, we can still be friends.
Oh no, I'm a Buckeyes guy.
Oh.
Big Buckeyes. Go Buckeyes.
And this is the end of the podcast show.
No, I don't do sports.
I don't either. I was just saying we have...
I'm just a nerd with my computer and my beer.
We have a vehicle in there. Actually, I think we only have one that's got a computer. Everything else is all mechanical.
I mean, I worked on my own car before it. They had a bunch of computers in them, and then,
nice.
then I wasn't buying cars in the 80s anymore.
The Dodge Power Wagon, the earliest known example that still exists, number 12 that they ever made.
Oh, that's neat.
I mean, they made more than that, but this is the earliest known one to still exist, and we have it on display.
Nothing like a dozen.
It's not ours, but
there's still some of this Neapolitan stout left if you guys want to try that, or unless you want me to get into this next one here.
Let's do the next one. We can always come back to that.
Excited about the next one?
Darrell wants something to rinse that with.
No, it was good. Thanks. That was appreciated.
You're welcome.
That was good and loud, actually. You really felt that in the ear.
I'm sure every listener loved that.
Yep. I apologize.
Just spike it up even higher.
To nothing.
I hope somebody was in traffic with the windows down when he did that, and then someone looks over at them awkwardly.
So this one's kind of cool because it's got like a gold leaf wrapper over the top of the cap. Do you want a picture of it for Untapped or anything to show the humans before I open it?
Sure.
Okay.
So speaking of Untapped, we got to get on that because we're way behind.
Yeah, who's running that? It's stupid.
I don't know.
actually had that in my notebook.
Some
somewhere. I
guy
don't
who's
know
never
where my
used
notebook
Untapped
is.
before. I should probably take a picture of it from my angle since the light's better.
Because
Yours
I
is
don't
going to be
normally
backlit.
check in ones that I've already had. I just go for the unique ones. So most of what we have had is on my list. So you can piggyback, but there's a few that are going to be missing.
Now this is great because you'll actually get to see a little bit of Darrell's beard in the background of this picture. When I noticed that was and like the blur effect is wonderful. I love modern cell phone cameras. Like they're just ridiculous.
Dude, they've gotten amazing over the last couple of years.
Do you have the bottle opener by chance?
Yes.
Okay. So now that I got the picture, let me peel off the extra layer of gold here. Do you guys think this is real gold? Is this our pot of gold?
I don't know. Ask the leprechaun.
Oh, fucking disgusting.
Black mold?
It's got like you can't see it, the nasty shit on there. Like I peeled off a little piece of the gold label and there's just a
It
bunch
looks
of
like
nasty.
just the glue that's sitting on it.
Yeah.
Looks like the glue to it.
Just open it, don't look at it, and we'll drink it before we realize it's a problem.
Lick it.
Fuck you.
Lick it.
That's definitely nasty old beer. This cap looks rusted.
We got the other jar to cleanse and sanitize. And
That's enough peeling. So before I open this, I'll read a little bit about it here. There's a lot going on with this label.
that is an interesting looking bottle.
Number 53 in our barrel age series, stout aged in bourbon barrels with cherries, cacao nibs, and vanilla beans.
Ooh.
This is from Avery Brewing in Boulder, Colorado. I've been there. It's nice.
These are very nice. How much?
This one was bottled July 26th, 2019. It's one of those beers that even has the little picture of like the type of glass you're supposed to serve it in, which I think is really cool. You see a little glass shape there. That's I always like that.
yeah,
that's what we're drinking.
fun
Look
little-
at
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it's.
But damn, we're doing it right.
It says
Sounds
it's
like we know what we're done doing.
14.6% alcohol.
Oh, wow.
It says production 117 oak barrels. So I don't know if that's the barrel number or how many barrels they
I was going to
use.
say, that sounds like how many barrels are in that batch.
So yeah, brewed and bottled in Avery Brewing in Colorado, Boulder, blah, blah, blah. Number 53, dark, rich stout held in barrels like tart, gooey cherries held in the dark chocolate shell. Take a bit of this blissful beverage, courtesy of our beer chocolatiers. And this is cringe, but in all capital letters it says, nom nom bon bon.
Nom, 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 nom.
Yeah, exactly. But like slightly more cringe if you could make it a little more cringe.
Yum, yum.
That's okay. Brewed with Rocky Mountain water, malted barley,
Thank gosh it's
malted
not
wheat,
Rocky Mountain
oats,
oysters.
cherries, cacao nibs, vanilla beans, hops, and yeast. I had Rocky Mountain oysters when I was out there one time. They were served like pickle chips,
Yeah.
and they were really kind of non-offensive. They were like the texture of calamari, but like if someone told you that it was like some piece of chicken, you wouldn't have known any difference. I
believe it.
It's
I still have no interest in trying it.
we went. It was a restaurant called the Buckhorn Exchange, and they call it a carnivore restaurant. They have all sorts of like game meats and stuff. I had elk and bison steak for dinner. There's like
Nice.
rattlesnake, That was good. Rattlesnake kind of reminded me
had
of like tuna fish, but tastes like a land animal. It's because it's flaky.
It is a land
Well, no,
animal.
it's flaky like tuna fish is what I mean, but like
okay.
it doesn't taste like a an ocean fish.
Yeah.
All
I
right.
had wood fire grilled
I'll open
octopus. Wood fire grilled octopus once, and it tasted like a good steak.
Yeah,
Oh, it was so good.
What Keith always tells me about one of the best things he had over in Japan was this guy. He's just sitting at the wharf on his little boat. He goes out, does his fishing, comes back, and he's got the grill right there, and charcoal grill. And the octopus wasn't even like an hour out of the water.
Oh, wow.
And he just charcoal grilled it. And he's like, it was the best thing ever.
Yeah.
It's just like octopus and like char.
I was in Boston when we had it, and some guy, the restaurant we were at for the wedding party, ordered it, and I mean, it was just a mountain plate full of it. Pass that to you, Zane.
I
he
love
just-
octopus and squid.
He
so.
passed, everybody there got all these big plates of all this stuff. Excuse me, thank you. And they just kept passing the plates around, and everybody had some. It was phenomenal. Had a lot of good seafood.
We're a little under disciplined on our pouring near the mics today, but I apologize. We're moving a bit slow.
No apologies.
The aroma,
Well carbonated still.
yeah, I really actually like the carbonation. It's got a nice, like, frothy head to it.
It's got a very fruity kind of
It smells rich.
taste off the rip. It's
does.
phenomenal.
The aroma's actually kind of nice. It smells a little boozy.
I don't want to call it bland, but it's not as deep of a flavor as I was expecting.
I was gonna say something similar. I feel like at the back end, it's got a little bit of that kind of like barrely bourbony, but
Yeah.
I'm really not getting any cherry, chocolate, or vanilla.
There's upfront fruitiness, but I don't get anything from sort of the mid to the finish.
Yeah, but it's also 14.5%.
Yeah, right, exactly. I get maybe like a little bit of dark chocolate from the cocoa nib, but
There's a touch. If you kind of swish it around a little bit, you'll get a
I
little more
taste
of
the dark chocolate a lot.
it just
Yeah.
it's kind of like it's a good beer. It's not bad. I
like
enjoy
it.
it.
Yeah.
But it does kind of feel like a little bit like of a generic bourbon
Yeah.
barrel aged stout. Like I like that it's not too sweet and not too heavy
Yeah.
because it looks like it could
You
be
beer
really sweet.
critic, you.
I know. It's almost like it's what I'm here for.
I'm just drinking like, damn, it's still good.
It's almost like
what
the
you're
topic du
talking
jour. Well, I think in all fairness, like
But does it stand out? No, you're right. It doesn't
exactly.
stand out.
Like we're here to try interesting beers and things like that, and I think we'd be doing ourselves a disservice if we weren't more discerning.
But it's good. But
It
it
is,
doesn't
yeah.
stand out in any way.
Yeah.
We've had several beers that we all agreed were good, but just not like either not unique or
Yeah.
not something we would drink. Which is that's kind of an interesting like feeling to try and like get across or translate, you know?
Yeah.
You know, and the cherries, I can taste the cherries in it. It's like a little sweetness. Like there's a little sweetness
Is that
to
up
it.
front?
Well, I can taste it on the back end now. Like
I still don't get
taste
back in. I
cherries.
get a lot up front still.
It's just like a sweetness in it.
I took a little bit bigger mouthful and I can
you
kind of get
handle
what
it?
you're
All right,
saying.
yeah.
Well, you know me. It's almost
Warming
like
it up in your hand a bit, you get a little more of it.
it's almost like that like if you could take all the sweetness out of a cherry cordial,
Yes. Yes.
you know, like or if you did like freeze dried cherry cordial
As I say, it's like
and
a
like diluted it.
like a cherry concentrate juice, like a dark cherry concentrate is kind of
That'd be an interesting one. All those people that do those freeze dried candies, a freeze dried cherry cordial. That'd be an interesting one.
It sounds disgusting.
Well, yeah, you don't like cherries. I don't like cherry cordial.
Yeah, warming that up, you really get a lot more of the cherry out of it.
But that would be, I think that'd be a really unique thing to put in a beer. Freeze dried cherry cordial.
I'll have to look at that.
Maybe it'll be one of.
I'll put that way, way down on my list.
Yeah, you do that. We could do chocolate strawberry too. I prefer a chocolate strawberry over a cherry
Oh,
cordial.
I'd agree with that, yeah.
I like the cherry. I like the chocolate. I just don't like the whatever that syrup or like paste that's usually
Yeah.
surrounding the cherry. It's so sickening sweet it hurts my
So
teeth.
Yeah.
now it's getting to the point. The more I drink it, all I taste is cherry and chocolate.
Yeah.
The cocoa
because-
nibs.
Let's say
It's
the
all
more
hate
warms
cherries.
up,
now.
yeah.
It's because you're a cherry hater.
That's all I taste. But you can tell it's barrel aged.
Yep.
It's got a little tannins to it. That's got some nice taste. A little dryness.
It's well done. I mean, props to Avery.
It's good for what it is.
Yeah.
It's not great.
I wouldn't go out of my way to drink it.
No.
But if I was ordering a flight of beers and this was one of them, I wouldn't be like, I regret getting that. No, I wouldn't.
Yeah.
I wouldn't regret it.
I'd be glad I got a small and not a big one.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I wouldn't want to drink a whole bottle of this. I feel like that way about a lot of imperial stouts, though. I don't want a whole pint of something that rich and complex. Like, that's why it's so nice to have them and share them with people, because then I get to enjoy it, but not over enjoy it.
Makes sense.
No, that doesn't. Not over enjoy a beer. What the hell?
Well,
if you have too much of something, then you're not going to like it.
For
anymore.
example, I had 3 20-ounce mugs of the Fambition
And you don't like it
on
anymore?
Monday. No, I fucking love it. It's a great beer. But there's enough caffeine that has escaped through in that coffee into the beer that I was up till like 4 a.m. And I'll tell you what, the next day,
Should have called. I was up.
I drank, after drinking 60 ounces of stout the night before, my guts weren't so good in the morning. It looked like I had a bunch of Pepto-Bismol, if you understand the reference. Except it had the opposite effect that Pepto-Bismol is supposed to have.
Oh, I see.
I'm painting a picture for our listeners without graphic language.
But they all understand.
It's like that scene in Family Guy with, like, Quagmire, like, he's pulling the beads. He's like, we all know what's going on here. We know. The kids don't know, but we
know.
do. Man, that's no. But yeah, it was. I mean, I love the Fambition. That was actually going to be the beer I was drinking last night, but it was like 10:30 or whatever when I left, and I'm like, I'm glad I didn't have coffee beer.
I'm not going to lie. I've been digging that Pinot Grigio stuff, but with the soda water, I've been drinking a lot of that here.
He's mixing your beverages, Darrell.
I'm allowed to mix 2 at a time.
Yeah.
That's the
You can't
limit.
mix all of them at once. I denied that last time.
No.
See,
No one, and everyone who works here knows not to do it too.
I like to drink I call it the senior special. It's the one your dad always drinks, the 2 stouts mixed together.
Oh.
I like
Yeah,
that.
that's good.
It's a good mix.
The nutty and the
No, it's M19's, the vanilla stout, and the Countdown, the 2 that he mixes.
Yeah.
How have I never tried that?
That's what I'll
Or
order.
have I? I just
You've
don't
had it, you just don't remember.
If they're both on tap, I'll order that.
Yeah.
And I remember, Darrell's father, Darrell,
nutty and the marshmallow was
being
phenomenal.
here and being like, he's like, are you mixing my beer? I'm like, I'm ordering the thing that you just did. And he's like, oh, good. He's like,
remember
it's
this.
pretty good.
Yeah,
You'll like
I've
it.
done that. Yeah, as I remember, we had that conversation.
He was just having
Okay,
fun.
so when you're done with that, taste the Neapolitan again.
Okay, let me
grab a
finish
splash.
this.
Please.
Sweet.
So I've decided and discussed with him, and he laughed in approval. So Darrell Sr.,
Oh, Dad.
yes, is now going to be referred to as Father Darrell and Brother Phil. And Darrell's just Darrell.
I'm just playing on me.
Yep.
I think that's good. Don't stand out. Blend into the crowd. That's good advice.
As he sits here with a green beard.
Oh,
Isn't it sweeter now? Like a lot
Whoa,
sweeter.
yeah.
I wouldn't say for me like a lot sweeter, but it's better.
Noticeably better, yeah.
It is better. That's strange. Because you're right. The dryness from the previous
Taste
beer.
buds, yeah.
Yeah.
You can taste the flavors in this a lot better now.
God, it made
Yeah.
it so much more bold, like so much
Yeah.
more like rich.
I
That's
wonder
super
if it's
interesting.
because it warmed up a touch, too.
Yeah, so we went from having the Avery's, I guess it's Bonbon Cherie. Is that's how you pronounce that?
Nom, 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 nom.
Cerise, Cherie.
We're only on our second beer of the day.
And then
Well, we are.
we're backing it up with the double dip Neapolitan milk stout. So it is an interesting combo. I like that. I wonder if
was indeed.
It's
mixing them
interesting
together-
how tasting one and then the next with your taste buds, the way they change.
Oh, yeah.
You can taste different flavors off of that.
Yeah.
I bet that's what they intended. Saugatuck Brewery is like, okay, we're going to get a hold of Avery in Boulder, Colorado. We're going to have them make this beer.
For this one show that they're going to do, we know.
That they're going to do in 3 years.
It was meant to happen. You have a fate. I was watching...
I know you're into conspiracy stuff, but that's
a deep
out
one.
there.
I was watching American Dad, and they did this episode
love
about
that
like
show.
it was like multi-dimensional or whatever, and the only consistent in the multiverse was Shaggy, the performing artist. Like he's like, Shaggy's the only consistent in the universe, and like they're like, you need to save Shaggy, it's going to ruin the universe.
Seen that in so long.
And then they kept like referencing was that song. It's like, you're my angel, you're my darling angel. And I was like, oh man, Shaggy, classic. Yeah, I watched that last night. It's from the new season.
There's more of those?
Yeah, they're actually a new one. Sundays. Yeah.
Oh hell yeah!
I just noticed Rick and Morty came out with the new season.
Yeah, I missed that too.
We've talked about this, season 7.
Yeah, but I just realized it though from us talking about it. I still haven't
Kaylin
watched
and I
it.
watched it. It was.
Damn it, watch it.
I mean,
I don't remember half of it.
I don't feel like it's any different.
No.
Since what's his nuts got fired or left or canceled or whichever
voice in
one.
this one though.
I don't think so.
It's probably AI generated.
It very well could be, honestly.
Well, that's in Solar Opposites. They did a different voice actor, but they straight up called it out, and it was fucking awesome.
Breaking the fourth wall. Immersion ruined.
Oh, it was great though, because the new guy's got like a British accent, and they started out and they just straight up did a voice transition of, the old guy to the new guy, and like, so this is the new, Corbo now. This is yeah, and it was funny.
Oh, sorry. I took a big swig of the beer. It was.
You jumped like you were surprised.
Yeah, it was like a lot sweeter taking like
I expected a scream to
gulp
come out.
instead of a sip. No, my mouth was full, Daryl. You know that
That's
would
the
be
way
rude.
we got to keep it.
That would be rude.
Oh, I got a good one. I'm gonna wait until I'm more drunk to say that one.
So next week or 2 weeks from now?
Yeah, probably.
more drunk.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah, we'll see if we can keep Johnny in control. I think without Phil here, without his
Might be okay.
without his partner
Dude,
in
we
crime.
got into it was hilarious because every time I yelled at you for muting us, he and I just kept going the conversation.
Yeah, it actually made things worse because then they just talk louder.
Oh yeah.
Even though the microphones can pick up a mouse farting across the room.
The worst part, as bad as it was, I listened to it yesterday and I couldn't stop laughing. It was so stupid.
Well, I hope our listeners enjoy it. I haven't listened to
Please
it yet.
don't cancel us yet.
I cancel you. This is all your fault. I hope you know.
You brought the pregame.
You drank 90% of it.
I can lead a horse to water.
Yes.
Apparently you can make him drink
but I
too.
don't tell it how much to drink.
True.
As a matter of fact, I believe I told the horse to drink less, and it didn't listen.
Very true. Very true.
Several times.
It was so funny.
You know you're having a bad day when I have to be the fucking voice of reason. When I have to be
that
daddy.
was the best part of
Yes,
the whole
Daddy.
thing.
Yes. Say it again.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah, it's a hell of a day when I have to play daddy and get on the daddy pants,
Yeah, so that is an extremely rare sight to see me that messed up in public, let alone.
I don't know. I've seen it a couple of times now. I'm starting to think
Not
it
that
might
level.
be.
Nah, I didn't leave here until like 7:30 that night.
Almost 8 o'clock that night.
Yeah.
You were stuck here.
Yeah, I played like 60 games in a row of tic-tac-toe with people.
Oh, it's a great game.
It was fun. Yeah.
Did you win?
Most of them, yeah. That's why we stopped playing.
Well, as long as you know how you win tic-tac-toe? Just be X. That's how you win.
So we did that,
no
and then I
strategy.
kept winning, so then I switched to O's.
And then you always lose.
Or tie?
Or tie.
We hit about a 50-50 with that.
Like once you figure out the meta of tic-tac-toe, it's not fun anymore.
That's what happened. We went through like 3 or 4 different players, and I kept winning. And
But the strategy involved.
There isn't.
Here's to you, golf ball diver. While the rest of the world sips their morning coffee, you're already knee-deep in pond muck, braving murky waters and snapping turtles to salvage abandoned golf balls. Every splash, every dive, every retrieval is a testament to your unwavering commitment. You turn lost balls into found treasure, and it's no easy feat. And when the day's haul is done, you kick back, crack open a splendidly cold craft beer, and relish the well-earned refreshment. So, here's to you, Mr. Golf Ball Diver. Your daily dive concludes not with a cannonball, but with a satisfying pop of a beer cap. Keep diving, keep retrieving, and keep knocking back those beers like a true champion.
We should make 3D tic-tac-toe, like play on like
Star Trek 3D chess? That'd be interesting.
play on multiple planes.
They have a bunch of designs out there for it.
I'm sure they
believe
do.
it, yeah.
I'm sure they do. I saw a thing, I guess they called it 5D chess, and I couldn't even understand it, like wrapping my head around it. So, but some people can.
Was it just multiple tiers? Because a lot of them are boards at different levels, and you're still playing the same board.
I've
just at
seen that,
different
yeah.
levels.
It was multiple boards, but the move you made affected all the other boards in some way. I couldn't understand it, and I refused to look into it.
Yeah, I never bothered to learn.
I enjoy
What,
chess,
chess?
and I know.
No, I know chess.
I know.
I'm not good at it.
We do
but I know how
the
to
chess
play.
club here.
Yeah, we do chess club. I might like chess a little bit.
And when is the chess club? So you can plug that. Everyone should know.
It's the second Sunday of every month.
There we
at
go.
3 p.m.
And what's the address?
Again?
Well, you have to
Look up
remind them
Starcraft
every
Brewery.
week.
2 R's.
Damn it.
You
But
all
anyway,
have a
in Richmond,
smartphone
Michigan.
that you're probably listening to us on.
Like
Go to Google Maps.
I enjoy chess, but it's one of those things that I like playing with people who are casual like me because I've never looked into strategy. I've never tried to understand strategy.
I know
I
you
just
don't-
Not
like
the Roy
playing it.
Lopez, the Spanish Open.
I have
none of
no
that.
skill
Sicilian
whatsoever.
Open.
I've heard of these things. I'm
Yes.
familiar. I know how the rules work. And
So
so,
we could
that's
play.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, 'cause
I
I
just
don't-
enjoy playing
Yeah.
the game, like
Ooh, I
looking
could
at
take
it
that
and
on.
figuring
I'll play
out
with you guys, too.
strategy as well. Then we'll
Chess.
lose.
I'll dumb
We're talking
myself
about
down
chess.
way down.
Don't do that.
Yeah, I was too. What were you doing?
I don't know. You said I'll play with you guys. Like, wait a minute, chess.
Yeah, I just enjoy doing it. Like, I have a good friend online that we'll play with often. Like, because
I've-
we're on that same level where we don't want to learn anything about it other than
No, no,
organically
yeah.
just learn.
Yeah.
Just have fun with it.
I used to have a few friends I'd play with that way, and then they all moved away.
That's what he lives in Manitoba.
Yeah, I've
so
got
we
a
just
nice
play
like,
online.
thing called the
all-class
internet.
set.
Yep.
I've played on there, and I beat the computer once. Maybe 2 or 3 times.
It's funny. I actually just dropped some honey in the mail for him yesterday. It cost me $25 to send honey to Manitoba
Nice.
How'd you send that?
Manitoba.
in the mail. I just went to USPS, put it in a box, and they put
And
it
they
away.
had no issue sending.
You can. I looked it up. U.S. and Canada has an agreement when it comes to honey, and it's funny because the lady at the post office, she's like, "What's in it?" I said, "Honey." And she's like, "Can you send that to Canada?" And I'm like, "Shouldn't
You
you,
should
know
know.
that?" Like, I'm like, "Yes, I looked it up. It's okay." And they've got like this big poster right there that says all the things. It's like, "You can't send this. You can't send that." And I'm like, "Well, honey's not on that list, so I'm just gonna assume it's fine."
When you get into international shipping, it actually is really interesting some of the stuff you can and can't send.
Oh yeah,
like in particular to
household
China.
products or like
I was doing a eBay business for a guy, and we were selling these old antique and vintage cameras. We had a guy in China buy one, and I was the shipper, so I had to go through all the customs forms and everything. And looking at the list, very explicitly it says you cannot send cameras to China. So he had to cancel
Or
and
North
refund the
Korea.
guy's order.
Well, it's my friend Tyler that I mentioned earlier. He has like an eBay business like that. He goes to a lot of estate sales and yard sales and things like that. And like just really interesting some of the things that like you send overseas or like big like Marlboro hats and shit, like the stuff we used to buy with the Marlboro points like in the 90s, like huge over in like Saudi Arabia and shit like that. It's like so weird, like
We
those
sold,
things that
I think we had one guy in Australia. He bought 14 lots of different cameras, accessories, and bags I was selling for the guy. And he's like, I just want the cameras. I don't want any of the cases. I don't want any of the boxes, any of the packaging. Just want the cameras. So he's a parts guy. And that thing, that old vintage camera that people throw away here, they're still using there. That thing's worth like $100 over there for parts, and here it's a throwaway.
Well, I think there's a lot of
Crazy markets.
I guess
like
you'd say
that.
hipsters and things kind of getting back into that analog age of things. Like maybe the nostalgia. Like records are huge now. Like
Those have made a good comeback, and a lot of that is just audio quality. The analog versus digital debate.
Yeah, well, it's got that, but they say that warm sound, that depth of sound. But I liked film cameras just in general. I thought film cameras were fun.
They were fun, and I did a couple of my college classes. I did a black and white film class,
That's cool.
and that was phenomenal. I mean, there was more education based and reasons for doing that. That your base level of understanding for anything in video and photography and graphics. I think black and white.
It definitely took like a different. A different approach. Like you had to have kind of a natural talent because like you can't just snap 500 fucking photos and edit them on the computer. You can, but you can't like touch them up and.
No, and that's the thing. There are.
We don't have
techniques
digital
for
light
developing, but
balancing.
No,
and
we did the shoot the film, develop the film, print it, like actual using enlargers and projecting it onto photo paper and developing the paper. I mean, it was a really cool class. Learned a hell of a lot. I haven't used any of it since. But
No,
at
why
the
would
time,
you?
at least,
We live in a
was-
digital age now.
Well, it was really cool because at the time, I don't know if they still had the photo lab, but as a graduate student, we were always allowed to go back and still use all the equipment and everything. I
Johnny
had
goes back
hundreds
and
of dollars
starts
of film and paper, and it's
Developing all
bad
of his
now.
dick pics and enlarging them, hanging them on the wall,
Sending them back in the mail to people, randomly addresses.
mailing them to Congress people.
Nah.
Send your state representative a
He's like,
picture of
no,
your penis.
I haven't done that in at least 10 years.
No, the developing paper went bad. I'm not investing in that again.
R.I.P. and peace, developing paper. So anyway, I kind of feel like we need to wrap this up because it's time for some more beers.
Thereabouts, and I'm wondering if I should tell you guys the little surprise I have for you now. It's not something physical.
Again, they don't want to see your penis.
No, they won't. But it is something set up that we might be able to get a little bit of money coming in. I've actually been working on this the last 5-6 days solid. So patreon.com/high gravity.
We've talked about it a lot. Never actually had one.
We were
do now.
memeing, but
Oh,
apparently,
look at that.
apparently we're done memeing about having a Patreon.
I finished setting it up and getting everything yesterday. So we'll have to talk prices and all that. So by the time everybody hears this, it'll be live and we'll have pricing more figured out. But currently it's set up so all of our regular episodes are there at no cost. However, it's set up so that as we record, I get things edited and scheduled to post, you get instant access to that. So however ahead we are in recording, once it's edited and posted, you'll be able to listen to it right away.
Are we still planning on doing that after show when we're all drunk?
We could talk more about that because we can do different tiers on Patreon. So we can have it like what I used to do on the other show. Well, we did our basic level was like $2, and that's a monthly thing. So you subscribe essentially $2 a month. You pledge it, I think, is their wording. And then in the case of however we structure it, you would either get early access to that, or depending what tier. We had it like a $5 and a $10. So $5 you would get stickers sent to you, shout out on the show. $10 you get that in a T-shirt. And it just kind of goes from there.
Oh, we can do that.
And yeah, that's something we can discuss later.
Yeah,
but
this
it's
is-
there. All the groundwork is.
so
it's
expect
all
more
set up.
information coming on that later.
Yes.
And
yeah.
and Johnny's feet pics will also be available. But that's going
That's
to
on
be
the
the premium tier.
OnlyFans. Yeah, that's the only.
Well, we're trying to make money here, so
Yeah.
we're going to switch it up.
Cross promotion, Johnny. How many times do I need to tell you?
I mean, we could do it, I guess.
All right. Well, we'll see you all in the next episode where we'll have different beers and different conversations. Godspeed.
Nom, 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 nom. If you didn't learn anything today, at least remember this. Beer's the answer that makes everything better.
Can't remember the question, but who cares when you have a cold one in your hand?
Remember, everybody, drink responsibly, drink high gravity.
Most importantly, drink well.
Okay, not the well. Life's too short for bad beers.
Stay frosty, my friends.